Good evening, good to be here again. I hope some of you already went into my website from last time I was here and enjoy some of the lectures there. And as Avi just recommended, there's also another great website, TorahAnytime.com. You have, I don't know, maybe 2,000 lectures there by now. Close to. From all the rabbis you can think of. More than 100 different names. And Baruch Hashem, the beginners, those who still have doubts, they're not sure if the Torah is divine, the written Torah, the oral Torah, they're not sure about life after life, they're not sure about the purpose of life, then they should start with my lectures for the beginners. Lecture for the beginners will give you a very good foundation for later on. Once you feel you already established in Judaism, when you're starting to keep the right mitzvot, then you move on to more advanced lectures. Sometimes it's a problem when someone starts in a very high level. It's not for his level, you know. And then it scares him a little bit because he's not ready to accept. Because everything in life, you need to get it in the right order. So you have to be careful. When you start, last week I gave out DVDs here. If you want more after the lectures, or we have some more DVDs here for beginners, Torah and Science, scientific proof that the only book in history that is divine is our Torah. No other religions and cult gave anything real. It's all based on people's stories and beliefs and false beliefs and all kinds of lies, when it takes approximately 10 minutes to prove that any one of their books is nonsense, full of errors, full of mistakes, when the only book that can be proven that no human being could write such a thing, it's our Torah. The Torah that we have is full of prophecies. Every chapter you open, I show you their prophecies. Every chapter, from the Torah and from the Bible, from the Tanakh, 24 different books. Each one of them has prophecies to what's going to be 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 years later. Obviously, a person cannot write such a thing. Also, the Torah has knowledge that shows without any doubt that only the Creator of the world was able to write such a book. No other human being, even in his wildest dream, even you take the smartest people ever live, give them all the technology you can think of combined, they cannot write one page in a Torah. The Torah has full knowledge about nature. There are 2 million animals that we know today. Thank God, my prayer got accepted. It's a sauna here. I never understand why the heat in Queens is always in 500 degrees. First, it costs fortune, and second, everybody suffers. Right? Oh, Baruch Hashem. Anyway, so like I said, there's knowledge in the Torah. For instance, as I said, there are 2 million animals. The Torah said that there are only 4 exceptional ones from 2 million that have only one sign of kashrut. Usually you need 2 signs of kosher. To the animal to be kosher, it needs 2 signs. One, it's that have split hooves, and second, chew is cud. Those 2 signs show us that the animal is kosher. Whether we know it, whether we recognize it, we don't recognize it, it doesn't matter. But the Torah says there are only 4 animals, the pig, the camel, the rabbit, and the hare, that has only one sign. Make no mistake, they are not kosher. Which means, if somebody would be able to find a 5th kind, and say, here, there's one kind the Torah did not mention. They brought it from Africa, from Zimbabwe, I don't know from where. They brought another animal. Here, look at this animal. Split hooves, doesn't chew his cud. The Torah did not say anything about it. That would be the end of Judaism. Why? They would show that the Torah, God forbid, is not divine. Because something that came from God, it's 100%, not 99.9. If you find something that is only 99.9% and it's claimed to be divine, is nonsense. Because for Hashem, there's no little mistake, big mistake. Any little mistake, show it's not divine. You understand the idea? So the only book can be proven scientifically, it's our book. If you are interested, we're giving you DVDs free of charge. And if you want money to watch it, come to me. You tell me how much you want, I'll try to raise it for you, to watch it, for your own benefits. Not that you're doing me a favor, you're doing yourself a favor. Okay, now I was asked by Avi to speak about life after life. The problem that I have is that life after life, it's a lecture that takes me 3.5 hours, and if I'm rushing very, very much, 2.5 hours. And I don't have the time, because at 10:30 I have another lecture tonight. So I'm going to do something even better. What am I going to speak? I'm going to speak about spiritual things that lives around us. What are you, in kindergarten or something? What is this? What kind of man you are? Huh? Very good. Be tough. All right? So I'm going to speak about, only if you agree, of course. Be careful on camera. Yeah. I'm just going to speak about spiritual images around us that we cannot see, but that definitely exist. Unless if you have a different topic you want to speak about. That's good?
Maybe you want to start with a few questions?
Yeah, let's start with some questions. Yes?
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, but doesn't it clearly say in the Gemara that all those spiritual stuff that you see live around us were locked up after the second Beit HaMikdash was destroyed?
Very interesting. Chazal actually eliminated their power. Doesn't mean they not exist, but their ability to damage us is 99% less than what it used to be. You're right, very good.
So when you talk about spiritual things, you're talking about that things are over in this room right now?
Yeah, right above your head. A demon that is dancing right on your head, and you don't feel about it. Yeah. There's ways to see it. Everyone here is a rabbi. Hey, Elisha. Everyone is a rabbi here. They know Gemara, they know everything. Where is he running, this guy? He'll be back? Okay, I can. Yeah.
You know how I said those demons have 99%, they won't be able to touch you?
Yeah.
What about, like, you know how the way you see them, to put the third generation black cat, whatever? So, that's the 1% that they can touch you with, that they can harm you with?
Well, like I said, today, what the demons do more is more interrupting with your dreams than they have any authority to damage us. You understand? They don't have, but they're still around. They're still around, and there are ways to make sure that they cannot have any effect on our lives. But I didn't come here for anyone to get the wrong impression. The demons cannot hurt you today. The chance that the demon will do something to a human being is 1 to a trillion, probably. Nobody gets affected by them because we are not in this level. The world used to be in a very high spiritual level 2,000 years ago. Once the level of the people started to drop, the level of the people today is more or less like animals. What do I mean by that? Take an average human being, a Jew that is not religious or a Goy that is not religious. All right? What do I mean? I'll give you an example. If you ask a person on the street, what's the purpose of your life? What do you live for? Nobody knows. I promise you. Make a survey. Ask all the people in public school, guys, girls, Jews, non-Jews, write to me, what are we living for? What do we live for? The Creator made us, He put us over here, we have a purpose. There's no creation without a purpose. Has to have a purpose. What is your purpose? You ask your friends, nobody knows. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2, most people are living by their temptations and desires. What determines their life is their next desire, which means if he's now hungry, that's become the most important thing in his life right now. Everything else is dead. Right now he has to go eat, and eat a lot. And not only that, when a person eats, he wants to make sure the food is extra delicious. For him, it's the most important thing. Food, most people in the world eat, they live for eating and not eating for living. You understand what I mean? People have to eat to survive. Nobody eats today to survive, unless if he doesn't have a choice. If he has a choice, he lives in order for him to enjoy food. Almost every second person is lying constantly. He doesn't care as much as he can. He lies to the teacher, he lies to his brothers, he lies to his friends, he lies to his neighbors, to anyone he can. In business, he cheats.
It's bad to lie.
We'll see when it comes from, where it comes from. Every other person is jealous. He's full of frustration and agony and pain because he's jealous constantly with all the people around him. Almost every other person is very lazy. If it was up to him, he would never get up from bed by noon. He would still be sleeping. Right? He would like to lay down with the remote control in front of the television, goes to a world of illusions for 70 years, if it was up to him. Why people get up from bed? Because they have to make money, because they need food. But if they had millions of dollars waiting for them, they wouldn't do anything with their life. What's the next step? Since they're so bored with their life, they're going to go into drugs. Alcohol, drugs, like the movie stars. They make a movie, then 3 years they have nothing to do. So what do? They try to be famous. Once their pride is go down a little bit, they don't get the respect that they used to. The next thing you hear, they're addicted to drugs. Why? They become very miserable. Check the life of every human being. You see, nobody lives by the truth of the creator of the world. Nobody. Nobody knows anything about life. Most people, they don't even know if they have life after life. 7 years they live here. Tomorrow they're supposed to die. They don't know what's going to happen. Even though the Torah told you exactly what's going to happen. The Torah say exactly what's going to happen from the time of the death, from step to step, one after the other. We know everything. Someone who knows Torah knows exactly what's going to happen to him in the time of death. Told you, I have a whole lecture about it. Again, listen, I gave you my website, divineinformation.com. If you want, I have my cards here after the lecture, the DVDs. You go into the website, there's Life After Death, Life After Life. Just watch it. It's long, but every minute is fascinating. It's very interesting. You see people who died and came back to life, people who remember their previous lives. Very interesting. We cannot do it here. We need a screen. We need a projector. It's more than 3 hours lectures. There's a lot of examples. There's pictures that the camera detects that the eyes of a person cannot see because the lens of the camera works with a different frequency. What the eye of a person cannot see, some animals can see and the camera can see. But regular eye cannot see. Yes, who wants to ask questions? Yeah.
I just heard a very interesting story a minute ago between these two, all three of us right now.
Yeah.
Is he a rabbi today?
So what's the question?
Oh yes. So Avner was talking to me about this guy who was a rabbi. He burned this black cat. And took, I don't know, some blood, ashes, and put in his eyes.
Not black cat. He took a black female cat.
Oh yeah.
And he burned the placenta. Placenta, it comes out with a birth. When you give birth, the baby comes with something looks like big gel, looks like gel. It's called placenta. And it comes out, they take it from the cat, female black cat, the daughter of a female black cat. They burn it, they put the ashes on the eyes, and then you can see all the demons and all the angels and all the souls of the people who are flying in space. The Gemara say it, one rabbi did it, and that moment he became healed. He couldn't move anymore. That's it. For the rabbis came and they prayed for his soul for a while until he went back to normal. You see, the fact that we can do it doesn't mean we have to do it. The Torah just wanted us to be aware that certain things around us exist. For instance, there's one halacha in the Shulchan Aruch, in a Jewish halacha, that a person cannot go naked in his house even when there's nobody there. He has to be modest. Even if he's in a bathroom, no one is there. It's a little room. Nobody is there. So, all right, over here, who sees me? I'm here alone. Even over there, a person has to behave like a human being, not like an animal. The way he dresses, there's laws how to get dressed, how to be modest. Why? Anyway, it doesn't matter if you put yourself under the blanket or you hide in a room. Hashem sees you no matter what you do. You can hide under the ground. Hashem sees when you're modest or not. When you wear clothes, what? Hashem doesn't see you naked through the clothes? The camera can see through the clothes. They have special camera, MRI, whatever you call it, so they can see through metals, through all kinds of things. So Hashem cannot see. Of course He can see. But the idea is not for Hashem. Hashem sees you no matter how many times you're going to cover yourself. For the things around us, there are human beings flying in a room constantly all the time that looking at you. When a person is together with his wife in closed room, even then there is halacha how to cover themselves, how to behave with the light. Why? Because there are many things around us that they are not in physical body. They are spiritual and they are able to see everything we say, everything we do. Understand? Therefore, if a person, I give you an example. They made an experiment that they put a bathroom in the middle of Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. A bathroom. Now what was special about the bathroom? They made 4 walls around the bathroom that it's clear from the inside, but it's a mirror from the outside. Nobody sees that a person is in a bathroom. They see a mirror, a square mirror. But you know how it is. A guy comes to the mirror, goes like this. Now you're inside the bathroom, so it's like he's looking at you, it goes like this to you. The girl comes with her hair, with her lipstick, she fixes her lipstick, right in your face, you're sitting in the bathroom. Not one person was able to make in a bathroom for the entire time. Why? Because the mind of a person, when someone is looking at him, the body doesn't function. It's not only that it's not comfortable, it's like freezing. The system doesn't work. Even though the knowledge, the brain knew that nobody sees him. They knew that it's mirror. But they couldn't do. Why? Because this is the way the person is. Modesty, it's a very key thing in the life of a person. I'll give you an example. One guy, his wife called him up. Hey, Reuven, do me a favor. Don't go into the shower yet. I forgot the soup boiling in the stove downstairs. Can you go shut the fire? Now the guy is already naked getting on the way to the bathroom. To the shower. So the phone is in his hand. He said, well, what happened? I left the soup downstairs. Please go shut the fire because now it's all gonna spill. So he said, okay. So now he's thinking, what? I'm here alone in the house. I'm going to start get dressed again to go downstairs. Let me run quickly downstairs. I'll shut the fire and I run back to the shower upstairs. So as he runs downstairs, he comes downstairs. The light went on. 300 of his best friends and relatives. Surprise! He goes like this. She made him a birthday party. That's what happened when you ignore the halacha. The Torah tell you one thing, you do it your way. It's just a matter of time until you pay the price. So we have spirits around us. We have angels around us, some good, some bad. We have reincarnations of people, but not in physical body, in space. They are flying around us, and we cannot see them. Then we have demons. There are 6 different kinds of demons. 3 are like human beings. They eat, and they go to the bathroom. And 3 are like angels. They don't eat and they don't go to the bathroom. 3 are physical. 3 are 100% spiritual, 3 kinds, and 3 is more physical than spiritual.
So we see them?
Yeah, we cannot see the demons. There are ways to see the demons by doing kishuf. Kishuf is what? Black magic? How do you say kishuf in English? Yeah, some kind of a magic, black magic.
You do the black magic today.
The difference between us, and the demons. Hey, okay. If you want, I'll change the subject. No problem.
No.
It's good. Yeah.
Isn't that what Ayin Hara is when you put Ayin Hara on yourself?
Ayin Hara is something else. Ayin Hara, it's a person that opens his mouth and says something about someone, or about himself, or about his son, or about his father. It can be the nearest person to him. And he make a comment about that person or about himself. For instance, he say, what a nice car this guy got. So what happened? There are angels that are created from that person's sins. So right away they bring it in front of Hashem and they say, hey, what's going on here? Where is the justice? This guy just got a brand new car. Does he deserve it? Look what he does, look what he does. So that brings more judgment on that person. Not necessarily that Hashem is forced to listen. He can listen to the claims that they make and then do something with that later on. But sometimes it works immediately. After a person says something, an hour later the car is smashed, or a big scratch over it, or the window smashed. Why is it? Because of what he said. Also a person about himself. What a great deal I made today in the office. Right away the angel come to Hashem and say, no, it's fair. It's fair that this guy will do such a deal. Even he doesn't believe that he made such a deal. And what happened? They review the person, and then the Gemara said that 99% of the problems that we have comes from Ayin Hara. Also Ayin Hara is a person that is narrow eyes, which means he's stingy, he's jealous, and when he sees somebody else enjoy, it bothers him very much. And he has an evil eye, so when he looks at something, the eye has a power to damage things. Even though, Ayin Hara, it's not such an easy thing. You don't understand that 100%. It's complicated. How does it work? When it works? When it's not work? We go by what the Torah told us. The Torah told us that if you're a farmer and you want to grow wheat, make sure that you're not close to an intersection or to a main road, that everyone who walk by would look at your wheat. Why? You're going to have a lot less wheat than if you're going to be far away from the eye of the people. Why? The eyes of the people who look in your field will make the field gives less wheat. That's called Ayin Hara. Also, if you have merchandise, you put it on the street, on the main road, and people walk by and they look at the merchandise, the chances to make profit with this merchandise is lower than if your merchandise are hidden from the eye of the people.
But you're just looking at it, like you're not doing it.
But you don't know.
It's all depend on which people. Some people have more Ayin Hara, some people have less Ayin Hara. You understand? But let me explain you something. What comes before Ayin Hara, it exists. The Zohar speaks about it, the Gemara speaks about it, but people make a very serious mistake. Ayin Hara is one of the last things in your life that you should worry about. There are things that you should worry about way before Ayin Hara, such as keeping the Shabbat. If a person doesn't keep Shabbat, he basically excludes himself out of the Jewish nation. It's not a joke. If, God forbid, he dies not Shomer Shabbos today, if he dies today and he's not Shomer Shabbos, he has no part to the world to come. Hashem doesn't let him enter to the Jewish world, which is eternity. He doesn't get it. And he loses everything. If, chas v'shalom, he dies, mechalel Shabbat, he made mitzvot, he had a lot of things, Hashem will pay him for his mitzvot. But to give him olam haba, en lo chelek la'olam haba. Not only Shabbat, there is a list of sins that a person lose his share to the world to come. So people, before they worry about Ayin Hara, that they lose $50 or $20, you might as well worry about your eternity. That's more important than losing a car or something, right? You agree? Many Jews don't keep Shabbat, not because they're evil, not because they're cruel, not because they're sadistic, that they want to destroy the future. No. It comes out of ignorance. They just don't know the truth of God. They don't know that Shabbat is the foundation of Judaism, the foundation of life. If they read once in their life the Torah, they would see that Hashem mentioned Shabbat 12 times in the Torah. 12 times! More than anything else. Almost more than anything else. And over there, 12 times the Torah repeats that if a Jew keeps my Sabbath, he belongs to my nation. And if not, God forbid, I'm cutting that souls out of my nation for eternity. If any one of you is a little bit clever, and you understand what I tell you, you'll never ever dare once in your life not to keep Shabbat. Once more. Not even once more. The Chafetz Chaim was a big tzaddik 100 years ago. He went, Chafetz Chaim, he went somewhere, and in the old days, it wasn't like today. You had to walk and walk and walk. Everything was far. There was no cars like today, 100 years ago. And you used to sleep in motels on the way, because you couldn't get to your destination in 1 or 2 days. He got to a motel, you know, there's Jews there, and some goyim also sleeps there. Like today, motel, roads, motels on the road. And the Chafetz Chaim saw over there a guy and started to speak to him. The guy was a Jew, but not religious. And he saw the rabbi, so he started to talk to him. And the Chafetz Chaim told him, what do you do? He said, I'm a businessman, I go to a fair to sell my merchandise. When is the fair? They say on Shabbat. It was Thursday night. In 2 days he's going to sell his merchandise. So Chafetz Chaim started to explain him about Judaism, about the importance of Shabbat, and the guy really realized right away, what is he doing? So he told the rabbi, I promise you, I give you my word, I'm going to keep Shabbat. No question asked. Thank you for lighting my eye. But not this Shabbat. I'm already on the way to sell my merchandise and the fair is on Shabbat. From the next Shabbat, I give you my promise, I'm going to start. He really meant it. It's not that he didn't mean it. The Chafetz Chaim told him, really, I should have been now very happy from the achievement that I got with you. You agreed to keep Shabbat, not from now, for next week. It's better than nothing. It's a great achievement. But what can I do that I'm not the creator of the world? And I'm not the owner and the master of the Sabbath. I cannot allow you 1 second extra in Shabbat not to keep. Knowing it could be the last second of your life, and God forbid you have no part of the world to come. It's like Russian roulette. You say, okay, Rabbi, I'm going to go 5 times like this. If he doesn't shoot, then I'll come to the synagogue. Can I allow such a thing? How do I know that the next 5 times 1 bullet will not shoot? And then you want to keep Shabbat. Well, where are you going to be? So the idea is that people do make serious sins when the price for these sins are very, very heavy and severe. And the reason they do it is comes out of ignorance. Now you may tell me, okay, Rabbi, it's better than someone who knows the truth and still don't keep Shabbat. There are people like this. There are people in the world that know Shabbat is a covenant between me and my nation, is a covenant for eternity. Eternal covenant. Why they don't keep Shabbat? They don't care. So I'm not as bad like them. I just didn't know. So the answer to this is baloney. It's just a bad excuse. Why? Why? If a person now, someone gave him a drug. Take it, it's good. And he didn't know that this drug can kill him or mess his brain forever. And he took that pill, and that's it. He's laying down in a hospital for 4 years, or he died right away, which happens to a lot of Israelis, unfortunately, in India and in places like this. One little mistake, and their life is finished. They're crazy for the rest of their life after this. So the fact that they didn't know make a change in their fortune, in their reality? No. I didn't know. Why are you crazy for the rest of your life? I took a pill and I didn't know it's going to make me crazy. Yes. You knew, you didn't know. Who cares right now? Bottom line, you pay the price. Same thing Shabbat. You knew, you didn't know, you cut yourself out of the Jewish nation. So when you come to Hashem, you're going to say to Hashem, Hashem, please don't be strict with me. I didn't do it on purpose. Well, look where I grew up. I grew up in a non-religious family. They sent me to public school. All my friends were Richie and Vinny and Tony. What do you want from me? So the answer will be, don't tell me stories, my friend. You had 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, depend who you are, to learn the truth. It was right across the street. Plenty of synagogues around you, plenty of yeshivot around you, Bet Gavriel in the heart of Queens. Every night there's learning here. What excuses you telling me? That you didn't know? It was right next to you to learn. Why didn't you come to learn? You didn't come to learn, you messed up your future. That's how it works. Yes?
You know how earlier we were talking about how you mentioned the black magic and spirits?
Yes, yeah.
I have a question. Like a month ago, we tried this thing. Like we put down a heavy person. We tried picking them up with 4 guys.
Right.
You know, it didn't work. So then we put our hands like on top of him. Then we removed it one by one. We picked him up easily.
Yeah.
Is that like a form of black magic or something?
No, that's psychological. The brain has a lot more power than what you think. The brain is like a computer. There's a way to trick the computer, right? I give you an example. There are softwares that you put in your computer and you don't need the actual disk. You don't need it. Every time you want the computer to think that it has the disk, you know, this disk, you have to go pay $30 or I don't know, $100 for that disk. You cannot afford it, so you just have that software. Once in your life you borrow this disk from someone, you put it inside that virtual CD, and every time you want to use it, you fool the computer. The computer thinks that he got the CD in the disk, in the hard drive, in the CD player, right? But he doesn't really have it. And the computer plays the whole thing, even though you don't have the actual DVD or CD, whatever it is. Same thing the brain. The brain can work in different times differently. I'll give you an example. If you go now to pick up a car, can you lift the car? No, right? But if the car will stop right on your toes, it's right on your leg. In 1 second you pick up the car and take your toe out of the pressure. The brain knows how to work in times of pressure. Same thing, there are ways for the brain to do things that you're not aware that your brain can do it. People in the Holocaust, before the Holocaust, when they were very spoiled and rich, bankers, lawyers, you know, the Jews were very wealthy in Germany. All of a sudden they made them like animals. Which one of these Jews would ever believe that he'll be able to be with 100 Jews in one tiny room, like sardines, when people make their bathrooms in the middle of the room for weeks, with this kind of smell, without bathroom? People were making in the middle of the room. And this is a politician, a dentist, a lawyer. This is important people. People have the college degrees, very educated people. They live like animals. In a few weeks, they became animals. How animals fight to survive, that's how they became. I'll give you another example. I have a cousin. One time he was sleeping in his bed with very high fever. Then I'll explain to you why I'm telling you this and will answer your question. He had very high fever. When he woke up in the morning, he realized he cannot get up from bed. Mamash is very, very weak. He takes medication, whatever. He sleeps in his bed and tries to learn. Eyes are burning, the head is pounding. After an hour or two that he's in bed, somebody screamed from the outside that his son fell from the bicycle and hit his head and is bleeding. So he jumped like a tiger from his bed. He ran to the street. He saw his son bleeding. He picked up his son, and he wasn't a little baby, you know, he's heavy. You know, first, second grade. He picked him up. He started to run in the street looking for a ride or a cab, running around with his son. Remember, he couldn't get up from the bed in the morning. And this is a guy that really loves to learn. He's not looking for excuses. Every minute he has, he learns Torah. But he ran around like this. He finally got a ride. He ran to the hospital, went to the elevator, went up to the emergency room, whatever. All day over there. And only when the problem finished, he just remembered that today I was so exhausted I couldn't move. A person has no idea how much he has, how much ability he has. He doesn't have an idea until he really needs it. Once I had 3 guys from Lakewood. They came to my house for Shabbat. I think it's 7-8 years ago. So they told me, we can pick you up in the air on a chair with our pinkies. Like this. You sit on a chair, each one of us. One will put the pinky under the chair, and one will put it under your knees. And we're going to go like this, and we pick you up all the way to the ceiling. Can you do it or not, he says. He said, can we do it? Shh. All right. So I said, can we do it or not? So I said, I don't believe it. So we can show you right now. I said, okay, let's do it. So they make me sit on a chair. And this is what they did. They went around the chair 7 times to each direction. They went 7 circles, and then to the other side. And they were saying, we are strong and you are weak. We are strong and you are weak. In Hebrew. אנחנו חזקים ואתה חלש. אנחנו חזקים ואתה חלש. And they told me that I have to say the opposite. I am weak and you are strong. I am weak and you are strong. 14 rounds. 7 to here, 7 to the other side. Just when they finished the last circle, in 1 second, they picked up the chair and me. Before I realized, my head was touching the ceiling. With me, sitting. Now, I was thinking it has to be a trick here. So they told me, you want to try? You can try. One of the 3 was extra heavy, a real bulvan, you know? And the guy, I just look at him that I have to pick him up with my fingers. I thought I'm going to break my fingers, you know. But anyway, I didn't even feel 1 pound of his weight. Like you picking up an empty chair, like this, to the ceiling. How does it work? I don't know. But I know that the brain of a person, it's a very sophisticated computer. And not only that, if you take all the telephone companies in the world combined, all of them together, it's not 1% of your brain. Let's just give you an understanding what the brain of a person is. Yes? Yeah.
Talking about seeing demons. Talking about seeing demons. Is it true that, like, if you put flour around your bed and you wake
Yes,
up in the
that's also the same Gemara in Masechet Brachot says, if you put ashes or flour or sand, whatever you want to call it, around your bed when you go to sleep, in the morning you're going to see tracks of like a rooster, three fingers.
3 fingers of rooster?
3. Looks like rooster, but it's demons. But let me explain you. Let me explain you how it works. Yeah, toda.
Rabbi, I have a question about this one, but I don't know if I should say it out loud.
Yeah.
I can?
Yeah. Okay.
I had this one dream that there was 10 children running around me. They were not my children. These 10 children, I took them as they were my own. And then I was standing on top of a hill. And it was a hill and water around it. And a man took one of my children that I took for myself and poked their eyes out and threw them into the water. And it didn't really hurt me. In the beginning, I was very happy. I felt as if real life, as if my heart was full of joy. Then I thought to myself in my dream, I thought, it's okay, I have 9 more children at home. I come into my house, the windows are not there, and it was really dark inside the house, but it was sun outside. I come into the house, all of the children are dead. And when I woke up, I was all sweating, and I was like crying.
All right, let me explain you a little bit about dreams. But before I answer about dreams, I want to first explain you how it works. In the next 5 minutes, no interruption. I just want you to listen how it works. Like this, you understand what we're talking about. There are 6 things about demons.
what?
6 different things about demons. As I said before, 3 are like people, 3 are like angels. They have, the 3 that looks like angels, they have wings. And they fly from one side of the world to the other side of the world and to the upper worlds in moments, seconds. They can jump from one side of the world to the other in time that you cannot count. That's how fast they can move from one place to another. They know the future, the short future to the near future. They know to tell what's going to happen. Oil prices will go up, gold will go down. They know those things. You're going to have shortage of wheat this year. They know the decision that Hashem made. Wheat, weeds, whatever you want, everything. They are able to make their face in any image they choose. If they want to look like a monster, they look like a monster. They want to look like a rabbi, they look like a rabbi. They can even pretend that they are Eliyahu Hanavi. They can pretend that they're Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. They can pretend they're the Baba Sali. They can come like they're your grandfather, and he talks to you in a dream, and you're sure that your grandfather is speaking to you, and it was one of them.
They're called Shindalas, right?
Shh. Please, let me finish. I said no interruption. Shh. They can see you all the time when they're around us, but we cannot see them. And they don't have any kind of jealousy or hate or anything like people has. They are above this level. Those are the ones who are spiritual, the 3 that are spiritual. Then we have three. We have three that are like people. What's special about those three? They eat and drink like people do.
We don't see them.
One thing I don't like is when people speak on the phone in the middle of the lectures. I remember what I said last week. It's no derech eretz. Think that you're speaking to President Obama. He deserves more respect than me. Why? Huh? If President Obama will come to give you a speech about the economy, something you don't care about right now, would you talk on the phone in front of him?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, then you're really doing bad. Yeah. All right. Shh. For sure you wouldn't get any scholarship, that's for sure. Anyway, shh. Anyway, they eat and they drink like people. They go to the bathroom. And also they multiply like people. They have male and female. They have children. They multiply like people, and they also died eventually. Each one of them live X amount of time, and they finish their job in a creation. Now, the Ramban, one of the greatest Kabbalists in history, he lived 750 years ago in Spain, and then he went to Israel. Rabbi Moshe ben Nachman, on his commentary to the Torah, this is the way he explains it. Very interesting. He says, in the creation of the world, there are 4 foundations to every material creation. What are the 4 dimensions? The 4 foundations is fire, air, water, and sand. These are the main ingredients in the creation of people. What do you have in your body? You have minerals, sand, minerals, iron, salt, all these things is minerals. Then you have fire, which is a spiritual thing in you, air, and water. And each material that was created with a combination of 4 foundations, they have 5 senses. They can smell, they can hear, they can taste. So animals, Jews and non-Jews, people, they were created with 4 dimensions, and therefore they have 5 senses. It's a budget deal. It comes together. And the way it's working is there are creatures that created only with 2 foundations. What are the 2? Fire and air. That's it. No water and no sand, no minerals. Because they don't have in their ingredients water and minerals, they don't have a body like us. Our body, it's a physical body. Right? Because they don't have those 2 ingredients, they don't have a body like us. And those what we call the demons. Because they don't have any material, they are able to fly. The soul of a person, once the person dies and he comes out of the body, the soul also can fly. All the people who died and came back to life, they say that after they died, their soul started to fly higher and higher. Like a balloon. Like a feather in the wind. That's how it is. Then, once they fly to the upper worlds, they are able to hear things about the future. What's the decisions that Hashem made for the economy, for the wars, who's going to be the king, and things like that. How does a person die? The 4 ingredients are separated. The fire, the air, the water, and the minerals Once they are separated one from the other, the person died immediately. Same thing by the demons. If the fire and the air are separated, the demon dies immediately. That's the last time of his life. Then, what are they eating, these demons? I said before that they're eating. They're drinking water from the lakes. They come above the lake and they drink water. Or the oceans. They leak water. And what do they eat? They eat from what the person is growing in a field. After he picks up everything, the leftover that falls on the floor, that's what they eat. Not only that, one other things that they need for their existence is smoke. All the magic, all the black magic, all these magics that the Goyim do in Africa and in other places, it's always involved with fire. Because that's how they call the demons. And they say all kinds of things, and they make the demons become their servants. Even though it's very dangerous, because in 1 second they can turn around and go and arm the person. Those goyim, those mekashfim that knows how to do it, as the Gemara mentioned, like the mekashfim of Pharaoh. Moshe Rabbeinu took his cane, he threw it on the floor, Hashem turned it into a snake. The kids of Egypt, they knew how to do kshafim, they learned it in school. They go and they throw it, all of them became snakes. But the difference is that their snakes wasn't real. Moshe Rabbeinu's snakes was real. You can hold them, is real. Theirs, it's an illusion. What's the difference between kishuf? Kishuf, there is a way to do kishuf. We'll get to it in a second. I don't want to confuse you too much. Let's just finish this part. Then, Chazal told us few more things about the demons. There are more demons in the world than people. Always. Sometimes there are 10,000 demons compared to one person. Sometimes 1,000. That's what the Pasuk says. 1,000 mismolo vervava miyamino. 1,000 on his left and 10,000 on his right. And they are always around us. If the person had 1 second permission to see them, he would become crazy for the rest of his life. He wouldn't be able to function ever again. In the old days, the demons used to damage people. Today they don't have, because the world is not in a level that it used to be. But in the old days, if a person would walk alone in the middle of the night, there was no flashlight on the street, no lights, everything was completely dark, trees, desert, whatever it was, they used to arm people. That's why people used to go in the old days always in couples, 2 and up. Also, they used to leave a little candle in a room. If you can stop with the cups, all this noise that you're making, please stop with this. Okay, so they used to make fire for the babies, because if you don't, even today we leave some lights for the baby, a little light, or open the window a little bit. Sometimes you see the baby smiling in the middle of his sleep. What does he know but to smile? He's only 1 week old. He doesn't know any information that he smiles. The demons are playing with him. So either you move him a little bit, or you turn the light on for a second, and you get rid of them. But remember, they don't have the power to damage people like they used to. Then, what are the things that protect us from the demons anyway? One thing they do have permission to do is, they have permission to do is to fool a person in his dream. That's what leads me to your dream. Most of the dreams that we have today, it's nonsense. How does it work? They come, they are very little. They enter inside your ear. When when the person is about to wake up, not when his sleep is very strong, because he won't hear them. When a person is anyway about to get up, 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, that time, they go inside the ear and they begin to talk to you while you're sleeping. And they describe you a story inside your ear, and when you wake up, you have a dream. You have a story. I saw this, I spoke to this. And that's what confuses a lot of people, and when the person gets scared, they are very happy about it. That's what the Zohar and the Chazal are teaching us. If you want to try, one time when your friend is sleeping, when he's about to wake up, you see that he's already moving, you come, you talk to his ear. Tell him whatever you want, and when let's say you tell him there are water in a sink, I want you to drink it. So when he's going to get up, he's going to tell you, I want to drink the water. Which sink they in? How does he know? Whatever you speak to him, you speak to his conscious, to his subconscious. And that's what they do to us. Shh, wait. No questions. Time is running out. Shh. Shh. The Mishnah tells us 10 things were created on Friday night. Please stop with the cup, please. Thank you. There are 10 things that were created between the beginning of the sunset until the appearance of the stars in the first Friday of the creation. Adam was made on Friday, in Yom HaShishi. Moments before Shabbat started, Hashem created the last 10 things in the creation. What are the 10 things? One of the 10 things is the demons. 10 things were created, and one of them was the demons, Amazikim. When Hashem created them, they left without a body. Why Hashem created them when it was not weekdays and when it wasn't Shabbos? It was in between, 50-50. You know, today when it begins to become dark, it's a doubt. What is it? It's still a day, or it's already the new day when it's night? Judaism, the day starts in the night. Once it becomes dark, it's a new day. Shabbat, when Shabbat? If you're in the middle of the desert, you don't have a watch. How do you know when Shabbat is? When it's finally become dark completely, then you know for sure it's Shabbat. But the truth is that there's about a period of an hour before that it's beginning to become dark, but slowly. In America, it takes almost an hour. In Israel, it's 20 minutes. Depends where you are in the globe. But that time, it's a doubt. It's half and half. It's half day, half night. And since it's 50-50, we don't take a risk to be Mechalel Shabbat. So we keep Shabbat right away. We light candles and we start keeping Shabbat. Hashem created them in that time because they are half and half. They are half physical, half spiritual. They're not like us, 100% physical body. They don't have a body like us. They have only 2 foundations out of the 4. That's why He created them in a time when it's half weekday, half holiday. Half weekday, half Friday, half Shabbat. Now what do we know about them? This is the demons that Hashem created in the beginning of the world. Later in the creation, more than 4,000 years ago, the wicked people decided to build the Babylon Tower, Migdal Bavel. There were 3 categories of people. What are the 3 categories? One category says, let's build a tower that we can go all the way up and worship idols over there. One say, let's go and fight against God. We make a tower all the way up to heaven. Today we're laughing at this, because we know to get to God, you need years. Thousands of years, you never get there. To the first rakia, to the first heaven. They didn't know. They didn't have spaceship, none of these things. They look at the sky. They thought it's closed. So they decided to build a tower. And the third one says, shh, let's go and stay there. The third that say, let's go and fight God, God turned them into monkeys. That's maybe what's confused the scientists, that they think we came from the monkey. The opposite, monkey came from us. Some of us looks more like monkeys, some less. Depend who was your uncle, I don't know. Some people go to visit their grandparents in a zoo. Some visit them in a shul. Depend what you believe in. Then a third, then not only monkeys, some of them he turns into demons. Monkeys and demons were the worst punishment of the people who were the worst wicked ones. And this is another source how the demons were created. One other things, there are demons who are created, that's called what we call the bad angels, from the sins of the person. Every time a Jew makes a sin, he creates a bad energy, a bad angel, a black angel that is waiting. First of all, the angel gets his name. He has a name based on a sin. So if the sin was stealing, that's his name. If it was not keeping Shabbat, that's his name. And he has his name after the time of the sin, which means the first day of Tishrei, the third day of Tishrei, and they also have time and date. This is their name. And when a person dies, he has 1 year trial in front of Hashem. That's why we say Kaddish for a person who died for 1 year, to help him in his trial in front of Hashem. Each one of these bad angels or demons, depending how you want to call them, comes to testify against the person. And this is how they come. They say, my name is such and such. I was created in that day and that time from this person, and I came to take revenge against him. That's what happened. One example is that we in Jerusalem, they don't let children go into the cemetery to walk the body of their father. If the father died, they let the children come to the gate of the cemetery, not more. They don't let them in. Why? One of the sins men do in this life is wasting seed. Not in making all kinds of sex crimes and wasting seeds against the Torah in things that God did not permit us. And that's worse than a murder, for those who didn't know, because when you kill a person, you kill one soul. When a person wastes seeds, it's millions of souls each time. Each one, it's create a bad angel. And when the person dies, all these millions or billions depend on that person. They come to take revenge against him. As soon as he enters the cemetery, they all come. It's like millions of black angels. And they scream because they want to take revenge against that person for the worst sins in the Torah, or worse, one of the worst sins. And if his children are entering, they sometimes damage them in a severe way. Why? Because they're angry why these children were able to come to the world from their father's seed, and they didn't have the chance to come. You understand? So the Zohar says, better not to enter the cemetery. And in Yerushalayim, that's the custom. They don't do it. They don't go in. Yes?
Damage to the cow. Damage to the cow, as we said earlier.
All kinds of damages. Physical damage, medical damage, spiritual damage, all kinds of damage. Remember, this is angels or demons, depending how you want to call it, that were created from the person's sins. Then, there are some demons that were created on Monday. Monday, Hashem created hell. Monday, second day, Yom Sheni, Hashem did not say, he didn't say, Vayar Kitov. He didn't say Kitov. Sunday, Hashem say that he looks at this creation and says, very good. Tuesday, he say twice good. one for Tuesday, actually one for Monday, but really Tuesday it's פעמיים כי טוב. Monday the Torah did not mention good. Why? The oral Torah explains because Hashem created hell. And that's a place, hell, that's where he punished all the wicked people. And then for sure he cannot say good in the Torah when some of his children gets their punishment. So that's why. So the Monday, another bad things that happen in Monday, it's Hashem created what we call Malachei Chabala, the worst demons, the worst. Malachei Chabala, the bad ones. Then I'll give you an example how in the old days they used to use the demons. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, in his time, 2,000 years ago, the Romans were in charge of Israel. They were controlling Israel. And they made a decree. What's the decree? No one is allowed to keep Shabbat. No one is allowed to make circumcision. And no one is allowed to learn Torah. And all kinds of other decrees. No Rosh Chodesh, none of these things. No Tefillin. And the situation in Israel was very bad. And the Chachamim decided that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Yossi will go to Rome, Rome, to convince the Caesar, the king of Rome, the empire, the Roman Empire, to cancel their decree. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was the greatest Kabbalist in history. He wrote the Zohar. Him and Rabbi Akiva, actually, I should say. But Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was one of the greatest. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai knew how to communicate with demons. Which demon he communicated with? The head one. The one who is in charge of all of them. His name is Ashmadai. It's in the Gemara, this story. Ashmadai. The Gemara says that Ashmadai came and say, "Hi Rabbi Shimon, I want to help you out." Even though he's a bad demon, they give respect to someone who's a Talmid Chacham like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai got upset. He said to Hashem, Ribono shel Olam, Hagar, the Arab, the Goya, Hagar, right? She's the mother of Ishmael. Yeah. Abraham threw her with Ishmael to the desert. You sent her 3 angels to Hagar. And to me, I'm your son, the Jew, you're sending me the head of the demons? So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, well, that's what I stuck with. What can I do? I got to cooperate with him. So they said, let's make a plan. What's the plan? Ashmadai told him, we're gonna go to the palace of the Caesar. I will enter the body of the princess, the daughter of the king, right away. She began to scream like crazy. I'm gonna scream from her mouth, I want Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. I want Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. That's what I'm gonna scream. And then an hour after, you will show up, and you say that you are Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. And the king will tell you, can you cure my daughter? And you say yes. And you tell the king that once the glasses in the palace begins to break, that's when you know that your daughter will be cured. And that's exactly how it worked. He went into her body, she started to scream, go crazy. The king got very nervous, it's his daughter. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai came to her ear and started to whisper all kinds of things. And the demon, Ashmadai, the shed, came out, and he broke some of the glasses, and she relaxed. So the king said to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, I want to pay you for saving my daughter's life. So he told him, no, I don't want anything. I just think it's fair that you cancel the decrees you made. And the king was in a good mood, obviously, and he canceled all the bad decrees that they made, and we were able to circumcise, to learn Torah, and probably without this Ashmadai, we wouldn't be here today. He wouldn't have Bet Gavriel. So the next time they ask you why you have Bet Gavriel, tell them thanks to the Adim and Ashmadai. If we wouldn't help Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, they probably would make us not learn Torah, no circumcision, no tefillin, we would forget about our Judaism, and that would be the end of it. Yes.
So he actually spoke demons, like, really, like, he actually spoke to them?
I actually spoke to them. But when you be Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, you also be able to speak to them.
No, but I think, like, we see it in our own eyes, demons.
I met 2 Persian people from Iran that more than 30 years ago, they say, each one of them separately, without knowing one another, they say that the Muslims, Persian, Mekashfim, black magics, people used to go to their house and saw little demons walk in a basement. Like this, small demons. Inside. Yeah. Their face look like eagle. Mamash. Cover like this with white thing. 2 different people.
In the house?
In the house of this black magic. The Gemara is full of stories like this. In the time of the Gemara, it was a common thing. Today it's not so common. Shh. Yeah. Yeah, we spoke about this. When do the demons get more power? Inside the bathroom, inside steamy places, inside dirty places, inside the deserts, open places, inside forests, inside open fields, especially at night. Then they have more strength. They have more power to do things. Also in public showers, sauna, and all these things. They have more power to damage over there. But like my friend right here said in the beginning of the lecture, in the beginning they used to be in the city, everywhere, in houses, in the streets. But after the Chachamim made a decree against them, they stopped coming into the town and merge and mix with people. Then I want to tell you something about demons that call Yehudim, Jews. That's their name. Why we call them Yehudain? In Aramaic, Yehudain means Jewish, Yehudim. That's their name of these demons. They are very special, these demons. Why? They come in a custom of very holy rabbis. Rav Yehuda Ftaya,
So you could look at them?
Rav Yehuda Ftaya is a student of the Ben Ish Chai. Student of the Ben Ish Chai. Ben Ish Chai was in Baghdad, in Iraq, 100 years ago. He was in Israel 60 years ago. He came to Eretz Israel. He wrote a very, very classy and famous book. It's called Ruchot Mesaprot. The spirits are saying, are telling. It's all people who died and he saw their trial, and he describes it with names and all kinds of Kabbalah stories. Very scary. If you read this book, you don't sleep for a month. From experience, I tell you. It won't leave you for a month, the fear from that book. There are many things that we are not aware of. If we only know what's around us, we go crazy from the amount of things that we don't know. But this is what happened. He used to be a kid. And that kid, the kid claimed that he sees Eliyahu Hanavi. He come to the Rabbi Yehuda Ftaya, and he say, whenever I want, Eliyahu Hanavi is coming to talk to me. I close myself in a room, I close my eyes, and I begin to see him, and he's speaking to me. Eliyahu Hanavi. And he tells me all kinds of things about mitzvot, about learning Torah. He says psukim from the Torah. I see Eliyahu Hanavi. The Rav Yehuda Ftaya told him, it's not Eliyahu Hanavi. He thought, who is this kid that Eliyahu Hanavi will come to him? So he told him, it's probably one of these demons that call Yehudaim, that they come in a custom of holy people. So he said, the next time when he comes, I want to take you with me to the Ben Ish Chai. First he took him to Rav Agassi. There was a big Kabbalist in Baghdad at that time. Rav Agassi started to speak to him through the boy. The boy sees him. The rabbi didn't see him. The boy sees him. So he tells the rabbi communicating to him through that boy. And the rabbi told Rav Yehuda Aftaya, there's no doubt, this is the real Eliyahu Hanavi. That's how good they fake it. They went to the Ben Ish Chai. If you knew who was the Ben Ish Chai, you'll never believe who was the Ben Ish Chai. It wasn't just another rabbi. Just give you an example. 30 years ago, something like that in Israel, one baby was born and he knew all the Torah by heart. You know that when a baby is in his mother's womb, for 9 months the angel is teaching him the entire Torah. Before he's born, the angel is hitting him on his top lip and makes him somehow, like a magic, somehow he makes him forget all the Torah. When he comes out, he has to learn all his life Torah. That's his purpose in life. That's the test, to learn. The more you learn, the more reward you're going to get. For whatever reason, we don't know Hashem's reason, that baby was born and he remembers the entire Torah. 2 years old baby, he begins to say, in Israel, in Bnei Brak, he's saying the entire pages on the Gemara by heart. Rashi, Tosfot, the Gemara, everything. Rambam, Rosh, everything he knows. A little kid. They took him right away to the Admor Migur, the Rebbe from Gur, the Ger Rebbe, Hasidim of Ger, Gur. And he took him into a room, and after an hour he made him forget everything.
Why?
They asked him, why you need to make him forget? He said, he won't survive. He will die from Ayin Hara. There's other reasons for that. One of the reasons is because he didn't want this baby to become like the Mashiach. Now he's going to say which rabbi is right, which rabbi is wrong, little baby. It's going to create a lot of confusion for the people. Why do I tell you the story of this baby? Because the baby were naming all the rabbis until 400 years ago. The last 2 rabbis that he mentioned was the Bach and the Tur. And the Taz, 400 years ago. This is 2 commentaries about the Shulchan Aruch, 450 years ago. From then to now, they did not mention any rabbi. Just if you knew what rabbis we had in the last 400 years ago, holy, amazing knowledge. They did not mention any of them. Which means that from 400 years ago until now, the level of the Torah went down tremendously. Only one rabbi they did mention from the last 450 years, the Ben Ish Chai. Just to show you who was the Ben Ish Chai. They asked him, the only one that the angel taught you is Ben Ish Chai from 100 years ago. What about all the other great names? You have no idea what great names. It's the only Acharon of this time, that 100 years ago, that he knew. And now, after I describe you who the Ben Ish Chai is, Rav Yehuda Aftaya and Rav Agassi took that kid to the Ben Ish Chai. And the kid saying what Eliyahu Hanavi is telling him. And the Ben Ish Chai, after investigating him, he said to Rav Yehuda Aftaya, no doubt, he is speaking to Eliyahu Hanavi, this kid. The Ben Ish Chai, that's how good they're faking it. But Rav Yehuda Aftaya did not give up. He didn't buy it. So what did he do? What did he do? He said to the boy, next time when he comes to speak to you, he wrote to him on a piece of paper 1 verse from the prophet Yirmiyah. This prophet from Yirmiyah, he was cursing the demons. It's a very long pasuk. And he said, the next time when it comes to you, read to him this pasuk and tell him, please explain me this pasuk. So when he came, he said, Shalom, my son, Eliyahu Hanavi is coming again. So he told him, the rabbi told me to tell you, please to explain me this pasuk. When he told him that pasuk, he started to shake. So he said, I'm sorry, I have to run. I'm very busy today. I have to run. So the rabbi was telling him, tell him not to run. All these times he's been arguing with you, he could have just said the meaning of the pasuk. For minutes he was arguing, no, I gotta run, leave me alone, I'll be back. And from that moment on, he never came back. And Rav Yehuda Aftaya said, you see, he was a demon. This is, who knows, this story in the time of the Ben Ish Chai, we're talking 100 years ago. Today, in the middle of the dreams, they come and they play with us. Even the dreams that are real always have something that is false, always.
So the demons come around. That's
That's why today I want to make it clear to you. There are dreams that the Gemara says that are very bad, such as if the teeth are broken, or the teeth are falling, or the cheeks of the person is falling, or a snake, all kinds of dreams. Snake is actually a good dream. If he bites you, that means you're going to be rich. All these dreams, don't be so happy. All the dreams today probably are all comes from the demons. Why? Why? Because they already learn what people are looking for and what makes the people upset and what makes the people happy. And they come and they pretend that it's a part, like the Gemara says, that you're going to be rich or you're going to die or the teeth are falling, the children's going to die. They know all these tricks. Therefore, you have nothing to worry about. Unless if the dream repeats many times, then you have to be worried. And if it's in the morning, early in the morning, and the dreams repeats, or somebody else dreams about you, that's dangerous. But a person before he goes to sleep, make sure he says Shema Yisrael with Kavana. Shema Yisrael cancel their power to damage you. So if you say Shema Yisrael word by word, slowly with thinking about the words, you eliminate their power to affect you. Yes?
Oh, you should be worried if somebody else is dreaming about it?
If it's a bad dream, sometimes it's a message, yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
What if you keep on dying in dream?
That means you're going to have long life.
Oh, seriously?
No, seriously.
Yes.
Oh, no, stop lying.
What if you
Die a lot of my dreams. I kill the person, comes back to life and kills me.
No, like I'm in the dream, this guy chasing me, I jump off the building. The joke is chasing me.
יהיו ראוי שתשרה עליך שכינה, אבל אין הדור ראוי.
Wait, but what happens?
You deserve that the spirits of Hashem will be on you, but because the generation is so low, you don't get that merit. For you, I believe it, Baruch. Somebody else will tell me that he dreams that he has Shema in a dream. No. Maybe it's a good faker, the demon, that made him dream. Yes?
You know how you said the demons come as your family members and you dream?
Yes, it can come as somebody you know.
What if they hug you in dream or they touch you or something?
Like I said, I don't want to answer questions about dream because anyway they're meaningless today. They have no meaning today because, like I said, the chance that these dreams will be a message from Shamayim, it's very low. Why should we bother so much with this? Okay, time is running out. 2 or 3 more last questions and we'll finish. Yes?
I have a question.
Yeah.
You know when they say when you daven, you're not allowed to touch your hair?
Says who?
I don't know, one of my
Maybe to each inside, yes, but to touch the hair like this, it's no problem.
okay, one of my one of my mothers made a really big deal about it.
No, if you go into the roots, maybe you each like inside. Then you need netilat yadayim. But that's even not only when you're praying, anytime. When a person eats his scalp, his hands is oily now. He has to make netilat yadayim. Yes.
So what happens? You said that if you get the same dream 3 times, what happens?
Then you worry.
For what? What do I have to worry?
Huh? You don't have to worry. You tzaddik, you go express to heaven. What do you worry? I want to ask you a question. Why do you so worry to die?
I'm not worried.
What do you have in this life? You enjoy learning Torah all day?
Oh my gosh.
Huh? You're not. You're making millions? Nah. You have the prettiest wife on earth? No.
You never know.
You are. Well, give me a reason why it's good to be here. What for? Why people are worried so much to die? They worry so much to die.
I don't want to die.
It's not. You should not worry about to die or not. You should worry what's going to happen after death. And if you're not Shomer Shabbat, then you should really, really be concerned what's going to happen later. If you don't put tefillin every day, קרקפת דלא מניחת תפילין נקרא פושע ישראל בגופו. A scout that does not put tefillin every day, Hashem announced him as a criminal of the nation of Israel. Think well if you want to be in this category. Yes?
And if you miss the tefillin one day, the tefillin becomes not kosher because it's sensitive. Like it feels
Beloni. I don't know who told you that foolish things. That tefillin is kosher or not kosher from the time they made it. If it's kosher and you don't put it, you put it in a closet, it's kosher, but it's upset that you put them in a closet, you know? Tefillin wants to be put on your head. That's what they made for, yes?
I heard every night before you go to sleep, you have to take a cup of water and a bucket, and as soon as you wake up, the first thing you have to do is take the water and...
Yeah, you can't go 4 steps.
Who told you this? Yeah, very. You're holier than me, everyone here. Look at this. I should come to get a lecture from you. All right, yeah, that's what some people say. Shh. They don't want to make 4 steps before they wash their hands in the morning. Someone who sleeps always after midnight doesn't have to worry about it. If he sleeps always after midnight, Jewish midnight now, today it's 12:10. In the summer it's 1 o'clock. In the winter it's 11:20, 11:25. It moves, depending on how long is the night and how long is the day. But if a person sleeps after midnight, he doesn't have to worry about it, especially if you have kids in the house. I know a guy that made netila into the bucket, and an hour later the water disappeared and the baby drank it. I know a guy here in Queens from Rabbi Chaim of Shul that in the middle of Seudah Shlishit, I think on Shabbat, he drank the Mayim Achronim. Everyone did Mayim Achronim in a cup, and they put it on the table, and he didn't know, and he drank it. He thought it was water. And Mayim Achronim, מה עושים? Praying to Hashem that the damage will not get done. Any last question for tonight? I gotta run. I have another lecture now. Yes?
You said about smoke, right?
Yes.
For people that smoke,
Yeah.
is that bad?
They ask Rabbi Kaduri, how come a rabbi like you, a Kabbalist, a holy rabbi, smokes cigarettes? So he smiled. He didn't smoke. He didn't breathe it to his lung. All he was doing is doing something with the smoke for the demons. Because he's a big Kabbalist, he was. And I thought that it's a joke until I read in his book. He just made a book after he passed away. And one of his Talmidim says that in his shiur, he was teaching them Kabbalah. He told them about the power of the smoke against the demons. And how he does with the cigarette. So really, it was real. I thought it's a joke. That somebody said that he asked him and he said, no, I'm not really smoking. I just for the... It really was the truth. He wasn't really smoking the cigarette. He was just making... No. When you are a big Kabbalist, we have to assume that you know what you're doing. Yes?
Remember one time in your lecture you said that if a woman who doesn't have any hair on her head, that's considered a demon.
What?
I definitely never say that.
I remember the way.
Never.
Is Ispandut allowed? Ispandut?
Oh yeah.
What's that?
That's with the, what do you call it?
They take stalks of wheat and they burn it and they put it in a pot and they basically go around each person's head.
My mom does that.
That's against Ayin Hara, it's something else. That's no problem. We, according to Kabbalah, we do it with lead. Real lead. The lead is burned and you see eyes are popping. And not only that eyes are coming, you see arrows stuck in those eyes. Unbelievable. So they do it again and again and again until it becomes smooth. Unbelievable. But this is hundreds of years and not many people knows how to do it. There's one rabbi in Staten Island, him and his wife, they know the secret. Some other knows. That's according to Kabbalah to remove Ayin Hara. But you know what's the best thing to remove Ayin Hara?
Don't look.
When you wake up in the morning, in Birkot HaShachar, a part of it is V'atzileni mi yetzer hara u'mi ayin hara. If a person say it with all his heart and his intention, save me from ayin hara, it's better than all these tricks and all these segulot. Thank you very much. Good night.